My next guest today is a pop singer, songwriter, producer, and founding member of the Grammy-nominated pop group 98 Degrees, one of the biggest boy bands of all time. He's also launched a successful solo career. He's awesome, a great friend of the program. Please welcome to the Wonderama House Party, my buddy, Jeff Timmons.
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks a lot for having me. Good to be here today.
You've been performing most of your life, is that right?
Yeah, you know, I started at a young age. I come from a really small town, so where I grew up, it was mostly sports-oriented. So people weren't really excited about the arts and singing and things like that. So I shied away from it for the longest time, but it was one of those things that, you know, kept bringing me back in. And fortunately for me, we were able to make a career out of it, and it's been a real blessing and a great time.
What music artists inspire you?
Well, for us, the main one at that time was a group called Boyz II Men, which they're a vocal group, but also now considered a boy band, ironically, too. But, you know, they just had amazing songs and did a lot with their vocals. You know, that's what really attracted me to those types of groups. Guys that, you know, to go back to what you were talking about, could blend their voices without any extra music. They create all the backgrounds and all the harmonies and all the movement vocally with just their voices. And so, you know, Boyz II Men there were many, but I think Boyz II Men was the main one.
Hey, any advice for kids that are watching that want to get into show business? What 2 cents would you give them?
I think, you know, look, it's a couple of things. One, it's really self-belief. I mean, I think that's the main one. You know, really believe in yourself. You might have friends or even family members or people you trust kind of discourage you, tell you you're not going to make it. But if you have that self-belief and you have the work ethic that goes along with it, a lot of faith, you know, in yourself, and then, you know, you got to work harder than everybody else, I think. And then at the end of all that, when you do finally start to achieve some success, it's really important to stay grounded and stay humble and treat people with respect. It's so important. I think years later, 98 Degrees might not be the most talented group in the world, but 25 years later, I think the way we treated people allows us to continue in this business.
What are your thoughts about the census and why it's important for kids?
Well, it's important in a number of ways, but I think most importantly, it has to do with community projects and funding that goes into communities. So hospital programs, roads that are being built, you know, things like that, schools, amount of money that goes to certain school programs. And we talked about music. You know, it's really important to let people know how many people are in an area so those funds can go to the right places at the right times and for the people that really need it.
So important. Thank you for sharing that message. Thanks for all that you do. Thanks for sharing that little bit of the history about your experience. Keep up the great work. Thanks for joining us. You can come back to the house party anytime. All right, Jeff?
Honored to be on. Love what you're doing, and thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Jeff Timmons, everybody. God bless you, brother.
Thanks, man.